Chapter 14. In Miss Shandy's social studies class, Josh was eating a bag of chips. "Josh," said Miss Shandy, "you can't eat chips in class." "Actually," said Josh, "I have to eat chips. It's for my blood sugar." He licked orange dust from his fingers, one by one. Then he crinkled up the bag, stuffed it in his pocket, and pulled out a pudding cup. "Josh," said Miss Shandy. "Miss Shandy," said Josh, "if I don't eat this pudding cup, I could faint." "Put it away, Josh," said Miss Shandy. "But I'm the school helper," said Josh. "And I don't care," said Miss Shandy. "This position has power now. It's not like when he," Josh nodded towards Niles, "was doing it." "3, said Miss Shandy. 2. "But where am I supposed to put an open pudding cup?" "Not my problem." 1. Josh gently set the pudding cup inside his backpack and take off that hat. Josh removed his cadet hat and fluffed his hair. Cadet cap and fluffed his hair. "Okay." Miss Shandy turned back to the whiteboard, on which she had written 2 words in tall letters: propaganda and samizdat. "Now," said Miss Shandy, "we discussed propaganda yesterday. Who can tell me what it is?" Several kids raised their hands. Niles made a big show of not reading from his notes. "Propaganda is the dissemination of doctrines and political ideas throughout art and culture." "Good, Niles," said Miss Shandy. "Propaganda can take the form of a movie, a book, or a play, a song, a painting, or a poster. But whereas art is an attempt to uncover the truth, propaganda promotes a party line. It maintains order. It instills in us those ideas that people want us to believe." Niles wrote all this down. "So," said Miss Shandy, samizdat." She smiled at the class. "What the heck is that?" Students chuckled. "Nobody? Any guesses?" "Where do you think the word comes from?" "Holly? It looks Russian?" "That's right," said Miss Shandy. "Samizdat comes from the Soviet Union. It means self-publishing. Russian writers, intellectuals, and dissidents used to secretly make and pass around literature that the government, the state, wouldn't allow." "It sort of sounds like salmon-dots," said Stuart, "like those white dots in Salome Salamai? Well, said Miss Shandy, samizdat often contained ideas that challenged authority. So the authorities made this writing illegal. Like me and my chips, said Josh. No, Josh, said Miss Shandy. The reason you can't eat chips in class is because it's distracting to students and to me, and because you get orange dust all over your assignments, which is disgusting. The Soviet state believed samizdat was a threat to its very existence. Sorry, Josh, but your chips aren't that important. Disagree, said Josh. Miss Shandy went over to her desk and pulled out a pamphlet. The cover was gray and adorned with strange letters. This is an actual piece of samizdat, a book of poems by a writer named Alexia Kabastinako. She handed it to Holly. You can carefully pass that around. Josh, if you want to hold it, go wash your hands. That's it, Josh asked, standing up to look at the book. That's so flimsy. Samizdatchiks had limited resources. Remember, they had to print these books themselves and smuggle them to readers. Samizdat is about the ideas inside, or really even about the idea of samizdat itself. Holly passed the book to Niles, who carefully examined each page, even though he couldn't read it. Miss Shandy continued. A lot of samizdat wasn't even political writing, but just the fact that it existed, that rebels were making these books, that people could engage in this activity, forbidden by the state, that was a threat to power. Cool, said Holly. And now, said Miss Shandy, I'd like everyone to get into their work groups. The room was filled with metallic squeals as students scooted their chairs and rearranged their desks into groups